Hi friends, my name is Maylin and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flutist, music teacher, and performer located in the city of Toronto, Canada, and this is my series where we learn how to play the flute from scratch. So thank you so much for joining me again here today. So in this video, we'll be learning about a new note. So that note is G sharp, and also there's an extra little duet at the end for you as well if you're interested in learning another duet. So thank you so much again for being here. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below as per usual. Also, if you do have any problems practicing or you just need a little boost to help you with practicing during these crazy times that we're living through, feel free to click the link also in the description for my free practice guide down below. So thank you so much, and let's just get right into it. Okay, so as usual, the same book as we've been using this whole time, the Trevor Y Beginner's book, number 1. I'll be starting on page 16 today. So right at the beginning, just read this little excerpt that Mr. Y has written right here. So all notes in music can be raised or lowered by placing a sign in front of them. The sign for raising a note looks like a hashtag, as everyone says now again these days, or a sharp. It raises the note against which it is placed. Its effect is cancelled by the bar line. So essentially what it's saying here is that when you put a sharp in front of a note, for example G sharp in this case, what we're looking at, the accidental only lasts for as long as that bar does. So the next bar, if there isn't another G sharp written there, another sharp there, you would assume it's G natural. Alright, so introducing G sharp. So the fingering is almost the same as G, but instead all you're doing is adding your little pinky finger to the left hand. So if you're taking a look at the flute here, so we know G, so A, B, G. For G sharp, you're also going to put down the little golf club here. So that's going to raise this key in the back. So I'll play for you what that sounds like. So this is G. And then G sharp. So G sharp is a semitone higher than G, which is really great. All right, so what we can do here is we'll go through some of those exercises so that you can get used to playing G sharp and G. Okay, so the first one here, we're actually going to be playing A to G sharp, so fairly straightforward. We're in 4/4. 2 half notes for each and then a whole note. Don't forget that there's a repeat sign as well. I'll just play it through the one time. I'm not going to clap this one. I think it's fairly straightforward. If you'd like to clap it for yourself though, please do. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so that's the first exercise. The second exercise here, I will actually clap this one out. So again, we're in 4/4. Make sure you notice that there's a repeat. We also have slurs over the first, second, and third and fourth beat of the first 2 bars. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, very good. And if you'd like to write in the note names for this one, feel free to do that as well. So I'll play it for you now. And don't forget, when you are also playing it for yourself, that you do repeat it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next exercise here. This is just right underneath. It's called andante. So andante is the tempo marking. So again, we have the Italian word is andante, and then in brackets, Mr. Y has given us what it means, the definition. So it means walking pace. So if you're to think about a nice, comfortable walking pace, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about as fast as you should probably take this. So we're going to go through the clap and count as usual. We're again in 4/4, so 4 quarter notes per measure. Make sure you see if there's anything tricky coming up ahead. So we have tons of G sharps, of course, since that's the new note that we're learning today. And anything else? Nope, and that's it. Okay, so let's clap and count through this one. So think about that nice, comfortable walking pace. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and this one will have a lot of, it does jump around a little bit, so feel free again to write in any of the notes that you feel like you need to write in. We do have 4 different times to breathe. If you feel like you need to breathe more at this time, that's totally okay when you're taking it a little bit slower. But eventually you'd want to take breaths after every 2 bars pretty much, except there's an exception with that 3rd breath. All right, so now I'm going to play it for you so you can get it in your ear. I will take it at that same tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. So after playing that, it's interesting to hear where that breath mark, the 3rd breath mark, changes. So the reason why that breath mark is there and instead of on the beginning of the bar at the 2nd time is because of the phrasing. So phrasing is something that we have a lot in music. So it's essentially like speaking a sentence. When we're speaking, there's kind of an ebb and flow to the conversation. So when there's an emphasis to something, you kind of rush towards something, or if you're feeling a little bit more relaxed, you kind of want to slow down what you want to say. Essentially, everything has a direction, is the point. And so when we're playing music, we also want to have a direction in the way that we play. So that is called phrasing. So the reason why the breath mark isn't every 2 bars for the 3rd one is to emphasize what the phrasing is. So the end of the phrase, bum, 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 and then you have that last little phrase there, da, 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 da. So you don't want to interrupt that. So if you were to play, so for example, I'm going to play it where we keep the breath mark right where it should be, following the same pattern. So after every 2 bars. It's going to sound kind of strange. So I'll start again from the beginning. Do you see how it still works, but it kind of interrupts the middle of that last phrase? Like, it doesn't quite sound as good. That's the reason why that breath mark is there. So be sure to follow that breath mark as well as you can and try and listen for these phrases. It really helps when you're trying to find different music things to do with it. That's it. Yeah. All right, so that's it for today. I will be including the extra duet, the Madrigal, right at the end of this video. So if you're interested, keep watching for more. But if not, thank you again for joining me here today. I hope that you enjoyed and learned something new about G sharp. And if you do have any questions, as usual, drop them in the comment section down below. Also, I am accepting some new students because I am in quarantine, of course. So feel free to check me out at www.maylinjenkins.com for further information. And again, if you are having issues with practicing, check out my free practice guide down below to help you figure out how to help with your practicing. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and happy fluting! Okay, so thank you again for sticking around for the bonus duet here. So this duet is on page 17, and it is called Madrigal. All right, so I'll be teaching you the pupil part, and then at the end I'll be playing the teacher part, so you can try playing along as well. All right, so let's take a look, putting it up here. So we are in 3/4 this time. So if we remember from the last video, 3/4 is waltz time. So we gotta make sure we have that nice feeling, that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's take a look. So this is going to be a little bit more tricky. We have lots of accidentals, G sharps, and then also some G naturals as well. So make sure that you take note of that. I would definitely write down the note names if you're still not confident with them at this point. And I think that's going to be about it. Let's just clap and count, and then I'll play it for you so you can get it in your ear. So Andante again, just as a reminder, is walking pace. All right, here we go. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Rest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, very good. And just to emphasize that 1, 2, 3, that feeling of the wheel, the emphasis should always be on beat 1. So you always have that nice down 1 beat, and that'll help you have that feeling. Okay, so now I'm gonna play it for you. Make sure you take note for any of the slurs. Seems to be a lot of 2 slurred, 1 tongued, and then at the second line we also have 3 slurred rather than 2 slurred. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so be sure for this one, I think it's going to take a little bit more time than the other ones to get through, just because it's a little trickier to read and there's a lot of stuff that jumps around. So of course, take your time with learning this one. Feel free to break it down into smaller chunks when you feel like you're having issues. So when you're playing through it that first time, keep a mental note of where you're messing up, and then you can go back to those different points and then slowly work on them. So start again with 1 note, 2 notes, and then slowly expand until you feel comfortable with it. So now I'm going to be playing you the teacher's part. I'm going to take it at the same tempo as I was earlier. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much again for playing along with this duet, and happy fluting!